Well, hello there, human beings of the internet. It is I, Ryan, and this isn't a play session, nor is it something immaterially different. We're going to try and do some more immaterial takes on. And this one is a little closer to my heart, because what you see in front of you is the splash screen for the 2001 shoot 'em up by Treasure, Ikaruga. Now, straight in there. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I enjoy this game very, very much. We're going to play it on easy, just so I can get back into it. But the whole point of this immaterial take on is I'm just going to sort of wax lyrical about Ikaruga and how it started with, or how Immaterial Gamers basically started with this game. So, core thing first is, what is Ikaruga? Well, it's a shoot 'em up. Like I say, earlier in the intro, it was released in 2001 for the Dreamcast by Treasure, who made another game that's actually close to my heart, Dynamite Headdy, on the Sega Mega Drive. Now, what I like about Ikaruga is it does go bullet hell. There can be plenty of bullets on the screen at the same time. But what you can see them doing is that there's a little bit of a difference in it. Now, like every other shoot 'em up, or most shoot 'em ups, have the key point of your ship being destroyed if you take damage to the center. And that's no different in this game. What is different is what you've probably been seeing already. It's, Ryan, you've been taking tons of shots. Why are you not dying? And it's simple. Your ship can switch colours. You got white and you got black. And while you're one colour, you are immune to bullets of that colour. But you are then, vulnerable to bullets of the opposite colour. On the flip side on that, you deal double damage to ships of the opposite colour. And then there's a lot of mechanics in it, in terms of chaining. So if you're shooting 3 enemies of the same colour, you'll gain bonus points if you keep chaining, so on and so forth. But if you just like to play it to, not die, just get through the game, you can do. There's 5 levels in it. Whoop. Obviously, of increasing difficulty. Let's just switch over like that. Oh yeah, special move, forgot about that. Yeah, the idea is that you want to defeat bosses by basically not messing around too much. Hit the weak spots using the opposite colours, and everything's great. But, the question on this is, the question on this is, why is this important to Immaterial Gamers? Well, it's the first video we ever did back in, late 2000s? Early 2010s? The exact year eludes me, but the whole point of it, we were students at the time, and we just decided, YouTube was the thing, and we just decided, why not do a video of a shoot 'em up? And it was me and Matt, and we were in my mum's house, just chilling out, and we decided, we can film this. So we did. And it was the most jankiest setup we could have ever had, really. It was a Panasonic DV camera. Just attached to a printer box. Put on a table in front of a TV. With us behind it. And just making sure the sound was working properly.
Ah, there we go. Oops. Not paying attention.
To a point. It's still on YouTube somewhere. The quality of it can be described as not great. It was good for its time, I guess. But it's the equivalent to now people posting on Facebook with their smartphone aimed at a TV recording that they did on their Sky Q box. And yeah, we enjoyed it. And what we did is we did something, because there's a feature of Ikaruga that I've not explained. This is one of the few shoot-em-ups in the game, in fact, probably one of the only shoot-em-ups in the game, where you could be persuaded to not fire a single bullet. So, like most games, particularly shoot-em-ups that come up on it, your score's graded based on how many points you're getting, how many shots you took, how many lives you lost, whether you did a good. And I believe this was sort of graded from E to A. I think it had an S. Not too sure. Like I say, it's been a while since I played it. I've downloaded it for the PC off Steam tonight as I record this. And yeah, but there was another rank. There was a rank called Dot Eater. And Dot Eater was pretty simply, you could go through an entire level without firing a single bullet, because you can just let go and just absorb. You can switch, that's fine, but you couldn't do that. You couldn't mess with anything else. It was just basically you going through the level, not firing a bullet. And that included then having to last the entire length of time on the boss timer. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, so you have to go through the entire level doing that. And so, the video that me and Matt decided to just do was just to see how many levels we could complete while dot eating. It turned out on the time, on easy mode we did it, it was the first level. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, damn it. And that's our first game over. Through this, there may be a couple more, but I'm just going to keep playing while we go. Oh, I'm able to select chapter 2. That's brilliant. Uploading the replay. Oh, even better. Thanks, so we can see how bad I did. So yeah, we just decided to do it. And we thought it was fun, and at the time, I remember this now, we were playing a weird RPG strategy game. It was on ariagames.com. It was just a host of sort of the weird, quirky games, and the game was called Dreamlords, and I actually liked the concept of it. So yeah, the concept of it was that you played on a map and you did your real-time strategy stuff in the game, but there was a web browser and it linked together with each of them. So the idea being on that you you research your units offline, so you could then progress through the PvE and then PvP bits online. And I actually sort of like that, but it had a nice lobby and a chat, and the community on there was actually pretty cool. And the GMs for the game were there. There was always events, little quizzes going on, and yeah, people were just looking for sort of community-based stuff, what people did outside of Dreamlords. So we just went for the idea of, you know what, let's do this video, let's post it. It did lead to a lot of the chat thinking we were the craziest people in there. We thought it was just, relatively... Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. We weren't very good at it, but we liked being a little bit entertaining. We did do the ooh voice a lot more than before YouTube did the screamy, overreact to everything voice. But yeah, fast forward a few years later, and one failed Burnout video. Whoops. Yeah, we recorded a Burnout video that we were going to do as a video game challenge before it was even named that. And yeah, it didn't go well. There was just recording issues all over the place. Again, we were doing the same thing. Video cameras. This is before we decided that a capture card might be an investment. So fast forward, we're at uni, and we got the capture card this time now. Dreamlords had petered off, unfortunately. As good as the concept was, it wasn't sustainable, and so it shut down just a couple of years after. So we got this capture card that said it was recording in 60 frames per second HD. It was seen to be believed. This is at the time where we bought it out of Maplin, which now shows you how aged this is, because Maplin is no longer a thing anymore. And yeah, so we got the capture card and we decided, you know what, let's just up the stakes with our original video. So we did, and we called it a video game challenge at that point, and just decided, yeah, should we just do it on hard mode instead? It can't be any more tough than easy, because we're not firing bullets. The only thing on the difficulty that we saw was enemies react to us firing bullets by firing more bullets back at us. No, it was ridiculously hard.
Damn! No!
We didn't even succeed with the first level. So, But, yeah, Ikaruga was the thing that sort of sparked off the idea that we should look at doing sort of gameplay videos and stuff like that. And the idea with what we were doing at the time was to, do challenges, do things with the games that weren't necessarily what the game was meant for. Or doing just fun stuff that wasn't just necessarily trying to beat the game and play it. So we did Geometry Wars. We just played each game mode and tried to see who could, win on that. We did the same with Trials. Trials Evolution? No, HD. Trials HD. And then we did 2/3. Funnily enough, it was Burnout that disappeared on this one again. But yeah, we did 2/3 of what we called the Blind Man's Challenge, which was to just, play 3 games. It was Soul Calibur 4. The one with Yoda in it. 4. And then we had, so that was just, playing blindfolded, trying to just use spatial awareness, of which it was Stefan, D and mine. yeah, spatial awareness of which there was none, because how could you possibly know where you were on a map? You were just button bashing, which at that point we thought was hilarious because that's what people do in fighting games anyway. And then Evo existed. But then we had Pac-Man Championship Edition, which was their ability to listen to instructions, which was fun because the person giving the instructions was me, and I wasn't the greatest. I felt sorry for him at that point. And then yeah, it was then going to be Burnout again, but we lost the. Something happened with the editing; it didn't work out very well, and so we lost that. But the idea with that one was, it was going to be memory, so sort of knowing where you. Whoops, a daisy. That's bad. That was bad. Yeah, it was memory. So it was Burnout Paradise. There was one of the bridges is one that you have to leap over. So it was going to be a sort of a game of chicken, which was sort of trying to remember how far it was from our starting point, which is the satellites, because it's always the satellites, to the bridge without going over or going through the gap. But yeah, these are the things we're doing on what was basically at that point Immaterial Gamers V1. Immaterial Gamers V2 sort of happened a little bit after, where we're going to do sort of reviews, and that's where we had Terry and Chris and a couple of others. We're just looking at that, and we did the Flash Game Appreciation event. They're not on the internet anymore. It just wasn't sort of a thing. But this was at the time where sort of uni was happening, and yeah, we may have made some sort of mistakes on that. I'm just going to change the settings a little bit here, see if we can just get some. Oh no, there's no continues. That's why. Continue on. Replays cannot be saved. I'm absolutely fine with that. Oh, we can just unlock free play from the off. We'll do that. Because we'll just go through the game while we're going and tell my story of why Ikaruga was sort of integral to Immaterial Gamers. High scores will not be saved. I am not bothered. Like I say, I just want to just play and talk. I'll play scrub mode. That's fine by me. But yeah, it was fun at the time. But this is where we sort of quickly determined afterwards that we had time, but we didn't have money. So uni students, college students, who were part-time jobs or sort of working on the side, not realising what happened, and yeah, we went at it for a few months, a year or so. Used up student loans and grants, which was at the time not the smartest idea. And you know what? There's some parts on that I would say that I sort of regret, but it led to sort of new choices. Ended up in work. Jumping from job to job. So getting used to things. But then, we cut to about 3-4 years ago. I was properly in employment. Everything was fine. Got comfortable. Everything was all great. And then it got to, last year. Or just over a year ago, and Matt came up with the idea of, we're now in stable employment. We've now got the money. If we can afford the free time, shall we start Immaterial Gamers again? It took a bit of time, and we did. That then, sort of got us there. But I mean, if it wasn't for sort of playing Ikaruga beforehand and doing this whoops a daisy. Yeah, if it wasn't for doing this, you know, little silly video on, you know, sort of this, at the time, obscure shoot 'em up, I think Immaterial Gamers would have been a thing. Now I can just talk, do what I want here now, because, you know, it's on free play. Oh, that was stupid. Okay, fine. We'll do that. So, yeah. I mean, it's sort of led to stuff that we've ended up doing, sort of keeping in. I mean, I would love to go back and do video game challenges again. I mean, there's so much more out there now that we've got access to. Oh, that was awful. But yeah, there's so much more stuff. I mean, that's sort of where the themed shows have come in. So Going Rogue is about the closest, is, you know, as close to what we've got as a sort of video game challenge on that. Duncan and Andrea's series with sibling rivalry. You know, they're playing Pokemon Bingo. No, you play Pokemon to catch the Pokemon and beat the Elite Four. That's how it always is. You know, the challenge of, you know, trying to obtain, you know, 15 Pokemon before your opponent. That's you know, different. It's just the game that's always stuck in the memory, and I don't want to be sort of rambling too much, but I genuinely feel that this was, you know, the kickstart of what we did. I say kickstart, it took, actually now that I think about it, it took 9 years from that point in order to sort of get us doing this a bit more. And yeah, I enjoy the game because of it. I mean, it's hard to pick up. Well, it's easy to pick up, difficult to play, ridiculous to master. But, you know, provided us with a lot of fun. Actually, just getting like pairs of us playing this, because it was a great game to play as a co-op game. Just having, whoops a daisy, I knew what I was doing there, honestly. Yeah, just having that time to just get on with it and enjoy it for what it was. And now that I'm actually playing this, I do have my Xbox 360 there, which has got Ikaruga on it, but it's also got Radiant Silvergun, which is effectively the game that this is the spiritual successor of. And you know what, it's late. I'm not thinking straight, but how many years? It's more to tell the story than to play the game. It's the point where I just sit here and just concentrate for a second while forgetting that maybe, you know, we've got an audience that wants to hear me speak. So yeah, and the plan is always to try quirky stuff as well. It's probably just what makes us a little different from, you know, gaming channels out there. You know, there's nothing wrong with us playing the big, you know, the AAA games, the the massive games, the titles that everyone knows about and talks about. But stuff like this is enjoyable. Stuff that people don't always see. Just nice, you know, odd games. Which is what something immaterially different is about. You know, we like to, you know, we can focus on games. We've done it. We've done it with Teamfight Tactics for League of Legends. You know, we just, whoops. It's just always about enjoying the games for what they are, which is nice bits of escapism and entertainment and just something fun. Not everything has to be a blockbuster epic. Not everything has to have the greatest graphics in the world. You know, it's not always required to see the 8,000 wrinkles and to have motion capture of Hollywood A-listers so they can walk on screen for 2 minutes before getting destroyed. You know, like what's his face? Patrick Stewart, should we go for not Skyrim, Oblivion? Or just having the same thing happen with it was Liam Neeson for Fallout, wasn't it? I'll get told otherwise. Oh, this is proper concentration here. Oh. Well, I might as well fly here now. Absolute chaos. And you know, there's probably more bullet hell shooters out there that people, you know, would prefer, like Masashi Sama, I think it is, Black Label edition, where, you know, if 99% of the screen isn't purple, you're apparently not bullet helling right. Right, let's get to the end of this level and then we can wrap this up, because I think, yeah, my Immaterial take on has sort of reached its point now. Not much more to say really about it, but note that we're always wanting to experiment. We're always wanting to try new things. Always wanting to expand on things that we've done before. But, you know, there's always that time that needs taking to sort of appreciate where you've gone before. Oops, ow. Oh, there's an emergency vehicle outside. Amazing. Ow, ow. Oh, I'm just not even concentrating now. Oh, that's another emergency vehicle going. Oh, that's... Well, yeah, if you actually enjoy the game, it is available if you've still got an Xbox. Yeah, it's an Xbox Live Arcade game. It's on PC, on Steam, for £7. 7 Great British Pounds. Oh yes, this boss. I remember you well. So, losing concentration again. Oh. Basically, it's a satellite. You just go destroy all the bits on. There we go, much better. Just take all the black ones out first. Oh yeah. Whoops. Ow. Now I'm just exploding for the sake of it. Oh my god. If you're looking for like pro tips on how to play games, no. If you're looking for some sort of enjoyment of games, and possibly sometimes winning, get out of here. Then that's the way to go. But yeah, that is Ikaruga. I hope I've explained to you why I like this game, and a little bit more insight into why we're just enjoying ourselves and doing what we're doing. So if you liked videos like this, I'll just keep playing while this goes on. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe, and comment, maybe even explain sort of what games, we'll let it continue go this time, so what games sort of make you remember about stuff, and any sort of weird stories that you've got. Check out all the other stuff on the channel. We've got the social medias, the Twitter, the Facebook, they're all on there. And until next time, yeah, keep remembering. I know words. And we'll see you next time.